The city of Dallas, Texas, was buzzing with its usual rhythm. Honking cars on the highways, people rushing to work, and the faint aroma of fresh coffee drifting out of small cafes. Inside a modest apartment on the east side of the city, Ethan Miller, a young cybersecurity enthusiast, sat in front of his computer screen. He wasn't a detective, not officially. He wasn't a cop either. But he had something that most ordinary people didn't, an unshakable determination to fight back against those who preyed on the innocent. Ethan had grown up watching his grandmother lose her retirement savings to a scammer pretending to be a bank representative. She never recovered from the financial loss, and that memory burned inside him. Now in his late 20s, Ethan spent his free time tracking scammers who targeted vulnerable people. His day job as an IT consultant paid the bills, but his real passion was exposing fraud. This morning was different. He had stumbled upon a call center operation after weeks of digital snooping. He knew their fake IRS calls were tricking thousands of Americans. Ethan had intercepted one of their phone scripts, and he had even dug into some of their internal databases. That's when he noticed something unusual, a familiar name. The scammer who had been making the most calls, who was supervising others, was named Daniel Parker. That was the key. Scammers often use fake American names when calling people John Smith or Michael Adams. But here, Ethan had found what looked like the scammer's real name buried in the files. His heart raced. He decided today was the day he would call them back, not as a victim, but as someone ready to play the game smarter. The first call. Ethan set up his virtual phone system with a scrambled number, so the scammers wouldn't trace him. He hit record and dialed the number that had been harassing dozens of U.S. citizens with fake tax threats. After 2 rings, someone answered. "Thank you for calling the Internal Revenue Services," a voice said in a monotone accent. "This is Officer John, badge number 4175. How may I help you today?" Ethan smirked. "Officer John? Interesting. I think I might owe some money. Could you help me with that?" The scammer, clearly reading from a script, replied, "Yes, sir, I can help you settle your federal tax obligations today. First, can I have your full name?" Ethan gave a fake identity, Michael Turner, and let the scammer ramble about bogus charges. But as the call went on, Ethan dropped his first surprise. "Listen, John, should I say Daniel Parker?" There was silence on the other end of the line. For a moment, all Ethan heard was the faint background chatter of other scammers reading their own scripts. Then the voice snapped back, angrier now. "Excuse me. What did you say?" "I said, Daniel Parker. That's your real name, isn't it? You might call yourself Officer John, but I know who you are." The scammer's voice cracked. "I don't know what you're talking about. This call is being recorded for legal purposes. Don't play games with me." Ethan leaned closer to his mic, smiling. "Oh, this call is being recorded, just not for the reasons you think. And Daniel, I know where you work. That buzzing sound in the background? That's your call center in downtown Phoenix. You guys rent an office floor in a gray building with tinted windows. Ringing any bells?" Shaking the scammer. For the first time, Ethan heard fear creep into the scammer's voice. Who are you?" Daniel asked. "Just someone who doesn't like bullies," Ethan replied calmly. "Do you know how many grandmothers you've tricked? How many veterans? You think hiding behind a fake badge number makes you safe. But I know your name, Daniel Parker. And now, I'm in your world." Daniel stuttered. "Listen, you don't know anything. You can't." "Oh, but I do," Ethan interrupted. "You used to go by the name Danny P. on an old gaming forum, didn't you? You were bragging about how easy it was to trick people. You forgot to delete your old posts, Daniel. That's where I found you." The scammer went quiet. Ethan imagined him sweating, the script in his hand useless now. "I know you think you're clever," Ethan continued. "But today, you're not the one running the call. I am." Turning the tables. For the next hour, Ethan kept Daniel on the phone. Every time Daniel tried to steer back to his tax scam script, Ethan countered with personal facts he had uncovered. Old usernames, the cities Daniel had lived in, even his high school mascot from a public record search. The scammer's tone shifted from aggressive to desperate. "Please, just hang up, okay? Forget this call happened. You don't understand. Ethan didn't stop. Oh, I understand perfectly. You thought you could steal money from people without consequences. But what happens when someone finally calls you back by your real name? By now, the background noise of the call center had died down. Other scammers were listening. Ethan could sense that Daniel wasn't just embarrassed, he was being humiliated in front of his coworkers. The breaking point. Finally, Daniel's voice cracked. Stop saying my name. Please. I'm just doing this because I need the money. You don't know what it's like here. Ethan softened his voice, not with sympathy, but with a calm authority. I know what it's like to struggle. But stealing from people isn't the answer. Every dollar you take could be someone's rent or food for their kids. Do you ever think about that? Daniel was silent for a long time. Then, with a voice almost whispering, he said, I don't want to do this anymore. Ethan let the silence hang before replying. Then don't. Walk away. There's always another path. The line clicked. Daniel had hung up. Aftermath. Ethan leaned back in his chair, staring at the blinking recording icon on his screen. He knew scammers rarely changed overnight, but he also knew this call had shaken Daniel to his core. The sound of someone calling him by his real name had broken through the wall of lies he built every day. Ethan uploaded the call recording to his private archive, planning to share a clean version with law enforcement contacts later. He didn't do this for fame or views. He did it for the people like his grandmother, people who deserved someone fighting for them. As the sun set outside his Dallas apartment, Ethan powered down his system. Tomorrow, there would be more scammers, more lies to expose. But for today, one call center spy had made a difference. And somewhere in a noisy office, a scammer named Daniel Parker sat in silence, wondering how long before his real world finally caught up with him.